Welcome in, everybody. American Leeds, the American Leeds YouTube channel. Please smash the like as you come in. It means a ton to me as this channel grows. It's a small channel, but it is mighty and it is deep. And shout out to all the folks that have been, I feel like there's 300 or 400 folks that always tune in to the videos. I appreciate you. I think you're fabulous. I want to have a discussion about Leeds United. I geek out more for the comments than anything else. I like to have a chat about Leeds, and this is one of the few ways I can do that. Obviously, Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter. I want to call it X. Twitter is the other way. I'm at American Leeds there, and I believe my DMs are open. So DM me. I want to talk about Leeds United, and I have a few threads that I'm on. Shout out to Phil. You know who you are. Love that thread that I'm on with you and the rest of the boys and girls in there. So I appreciate that. But I wanted to talk about Dan James and why Dan James is not coming out of this side. Dan James is going to start week in, week out for this team as long as he's healthy. And here's 3 reasons why that is. Number 1, Dan James does things nobody else does. Yes, I get frustrated with him too. Sometimes he appears to bottle it in the final third or in the box. He has a heavy touch. All of that is true. All of that is true. However, there's 3 reasons why he will not get out of this side. And now he has, I believe, 4 assists in recent weeks. Dan James tracks back. He puts pressure on the ball when Leeds does not have the ball. And he puts in the hard yards. So that's number 1. Dan James tracks back better than any other winger Leeds United has. And that is a valuable asset to have. And that's why a lot of managers have always valued Dan James. If you go back to Bielsa, I could name some others, but I don't want to get stereotyped or whatever, and I'll kind of get into that later. Number 2, he gets to balls because of his quickness. He gets to balls that no one else gets to. When balls look like they're going out of bounds, when balls look like they're out of reach to other players, Dan James will track those balls down. And he will also play himself in. So Dan James gets into positions that no one else can because of his speed. In America, we have a saying, you can't teach speed. It's the one asset. Yes, you can kind of get quicker. There used to be a class in high school called speed and explosion, right? Like you can get a little faster, but generally if you're not fast, you can't get fast. If that makes any sense. Like it's only marginally, you can only get marginally faster if you're not a fast athlete, if that makes any sense. We all know Dan James is the fastest player, most likely week in, week out on the pitch. So he gets to balls that nobody else gets to. That's number 2. That's why he's not coming out of the side. Number 3, he puts in a decent cross. He's always put in decent crosses, and unfortunately, there's never been anybody to put on the end of it. Now we have a really good striker in Perot and a really good shadow striker. Both those guys kind of do a sliding door, whatever it is. It's all kind of flexible in Daniel Farke's system, but we've got players that are going to get on the end of Dan James crosses for the first time, at least in Leeds United recent history. So those are 3 reasons. The other thing, this is just a story. I'm in the grocery store. I'm wearing my Leeds United kit, and somebody recognizes it. And we were in the Premier League at the time. Guy happens to be a Scummer fan. He's a Man U fan, and he congratulated me on the recent transfer of Dan James. Talked about how much he rated Dan James, and that was sorry to see Dan James go. Was a good player, always kind of played hard for the shirt, for that Ole Gunnar side. didn't really like the money that they spent on Jadon Sancho. Now, look, I don't talk to a lot of scummers. I don't think about Jadon Sancho. But if you know any Man U fans or somewhat friendly with them or kind of dig into their comments, like right when that transfer happened, there was a percentage, not a huge percentage, there was a decent percentage of scummer fans that really actually liked Dan James and was sorry to see him go. So anyways, I think there's a player in there. All of his criticisms are completely valid, but at the same time, I think there's something in him that Farke's not going to let go. And he's a seasoned player as well. I think the battle really is going to be now between Jaden Anthony and Somerville as Willie gets back to fitness. Anthony and Somerville are going to have to battle it out for that other position, and we'll see what happens there. Rutter. What a game. Obviously, he was doing things on the pitch that we have not seen since Rafinha. There was a comment after the game by Farke that basically said that, he wants to make sure that he doesn't disrespect players by his play. I think that's just Farke kind of making sure that Rutter does not get a big ego. I don't think he's trying to kill anything there. He's certainly gotten something out of him. He looks so different. We all thought there was a possible potential player in there. He's got a great strike on him. We always thought he was nimble, but the stuff he's doing where he's rolling players away, the stuff he's doing with just his speed and explosion, his size, the weight of his passing, and just the stuff that he was doing in midfield yesterday was insane. He was on another level. That was the hand of God reaching down into a player. A boy with the world at his feet, quite literally. Let's continue to get a good tune out of him, and credit Daniel Farke. He's been doing that. So long may that continue, and just scrumptious stuff. The final couple of things, the losing mentality in this side is gone. Is knock on wood. The mentality when we get relegated was so kind of down. We really cut the dead weight, and I want to credit the 49ers and Daniel Farke and the rest of the team for doing that. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. And everybody that didn't want to be here, we got off the bus. Get off of here. And that includes Sinisterra. Sinisterra, he was a very talented player. Maybe would have been the most talented player in the EFL Championship, but everybody here's got a winning attitude. They weren't here last year in the case of Dan James. Rutter was here, but he wasn't really playing. Ampadu doesn't know any better, but I know he was coming from sides that were not maybe struggling. I think he got relegated a couple times. But the winning mentality that Daniel Farke has cultivated in this side, with the likes of Joe Rodon, with the likes of Perot, guys that are expecting to get goals and win games, I think is just great credit. And we've just killed that old mentality, that losing mindset. You can tell is out of, I think, seems to be out of the club. So, and by the way, of all those, snakes, 7 to 9 snakes that left over the summer, who gets into this side? Jack Harrison doesn't. I don't think Jack Harrison would be close to this side, quite honestly. I think he might make the bench. Sinisterra, maybe. You can see Sinisterra probably come on. But Aronson? I don't know if he'd make the bench. Llorente? Nope. Robin Koch? No. No, I wouldn't put him in over Rodon or the newly found Pascal Stroik. So who comes in on this side? Maybe Raka? I mean, Tyler Adams is gone. He's not even going to come back because he's sold. Is there any player? Let's say we do get an automatic promotion that you would have back in here? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested. The only one for me is maybe Sinistera if he stays healthy and has a good season. Let me know. March United get a Leeds. On to Southampton. Talk soon.